Okay, so we have here part number 17, and this is going to be the final part, should be the final part. Maybe we have a little bit of part 18, but most of these games are pretty much going to be done soon. Well, but we will go into all the games from the 9 Eastern window are done, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific window are done. And I'm going to show just a tad of Cal Poly Cal State Fullerton if I can. And then end the whip round. And then because there's only Cal Poly Cal State Fullerton going to be on for a little bit by itself. And then Cal State Bakersfield at Hawaii. Hawaii women's basketball games are always on by themselves. In conference, usually in non-conference, in conference play they are. Non-conference, so it depends on it. But sometimes, in conference usually they are on by themselves because they're on at 7 Hawaiian, which is midnight Eastern. And that's typically the latest they start unless it's like TV purposes for games. You know what I mean? Like FS1 and like local time like FS1, like FS2, like Fox, like ESPN networks. So we have here Southern Utah is going to go 9-20, 7-9 in the WAC. NCAA is going to follow 3-4, 25, 0-15. And Kenyon's going to go 20-2, 15-0 in the WAC play. But Utah Tech's going to go 5-23, 1-14 in the WAC. And Kenyon is going to have a chance to go to 30 wins with their win at the regular, if they win the regular season 16-0, or end the regular season 16-0 in the WAC. And then beat all 9 teams twice in the WAC, or all 8 teams. All 8 teams twice in the WAC. They play. Here's 9 teams in the WAC. And then we have and then UC San Diego looks like they're Long Beach State. They're up 76-51. UC San Diego is going to go 17-14, 13-6 in the Big West. Long Beach State goes 15-13, 11-8 in the Big West. In the very second to last Big West game this season. And then we're going to bring in St. Houston, Utah. Here. And that is Sam Houston, Utah. Is going to be and then we're going to bring in games there. Not blowouts. We also got Texas Tech at Texas Tech and we have Texas Tech and Utah in the Big 12 second round. Florida, number 11 Florida at, and number 6 Alabama in the SEC second round. Then we have Big 10 second round action as well with we have Iowa and Michigan State.
Taking too much time. Jay Green hits a three. And now Kelly Ray Finley will use her final timeout with 23.5 showing on the clock. One possession game. Florida up 3. Alabama using a lot of time, but they knew they wanted to get the ball back to Zay Green. Zay Green spots up and knocks it down. Bring this thing back into a one-possession game. So Florida's using its final timeout. They advance the basketball here. If you're Alabama, you foul immediately. Yeah, you got to, because there's only 23 seconds left on the clock. Otherwise, Florida can run it out. Alabama wants to put themselves in a position to possibly have at least another possession. Any foul by either team will result in 2 free throws, both in the bonus. And both teams out of timeouts now. Winner is going to move on to the quarterfinals tomorrow, where the 3-seed LSU
Game clock
waits
will
for
be
them.
reset to 23.8.
Tomorrow we'll see our top 4 seeds in the tournament for the very first time, starting with South Carolina tomorrow, taking on Vanderbilt. That starts our day at 11 a.m. Eastern.
How about Camille Pierre, 16 points, Michaela Blake's 24, and Ayana Moore, 23.
Alabama's going to foul, and that's Zay Green who fouled. That's her 5th. So she is fouled out. Essence Cody also fouled out for Alabama today. 23.8 on the clock. And Layla Reynolds should have 2 free throws coming.
Florida, when they hold their opponent under 69 points a game, they've been undefeated this season.
Under 70, they're 14-0. Coming for Layla Reynolds. Right now, a 1-possession game with Florida up 3. Alabama does not have a timeout. After these free throws, they will have to go quickly after the inbound. Missed the first. Three-pointer will tie it for Alabama.
Defensively, everybody's got to check their person.
Sarah Ashley Barker just going to the cup. 16.1. Neither team with timeouts. And Alabama has to foul right away. 15.3 showing on the clock.
If there's anybody on the floor you know is going to make it happen, it's Sarah Ashley Barker. Attacking the basket, getting the finish. I like how the officials, they let them play.
Diana Collins was the one that had to foul, and Layla Reynolds finds herself back at the free throw line. 4 straight misses for the Florida Gators. 3 by Layla Reynolds.
Now Alabama has an opportunity again on the push.
Sub will come in for Alabama. Azuma checks back in. 15.3 on the clock. Alabama down by 2.
And Alabama doesn't have to go for a 3. 2, take it to overtime, extend this game. Just continue to play. Unless you have an option to Aaliyah Nye, I'd let her pull the trigger at the 3-point line and go for the win.
Aaliyah Nye is in the corner at the top of your screen. Sarah Ashley Barker cooking. Covered up. Collins, no! Out of bounds. They're going to check this at the monitor, but 2.1 is showing on the clock. They'll check to see who this ball belongs to.
Diana Collins was wide open at the top.
The call on the floor is white ball. The out of bounds is under review.
Yeah, that should be Alabama basketball. That should be Alabama's possession. And the Alabama Crimson Tide should have should be their opportunity. So, yeah. Unless there's something, like for some reason, which I don't see it. So, it should be Alabama's possession. And it should be Florida. Will be Florida. If it's Florida's ball. Nope, It's Alabama's one. So Alabama has to get their first good look. Any first shot that you can get that's open, you have to take it. Whether it's over, and so.
And no easy look to get the ball inside. Yeah, put your next biggest player on the ball.
Alexia Cassette on the ball. Carly Weathers will inbound for Alabama. SA just telling her to throw up the basket. And hold on a second. They're going to check this. Did the ball go out of bounds before time expired?
The previous play is under review and out of bounds was called prior to zero. It's awarded to Alabama.
I like the play call by Alabama to go inside to Sarah Ashley Barker.
No time left. Florida has done it. Into Friday. Go the Florida.
In the Florida Gators, they advance to the quarterfinals of the SEC, the Southeastern Conference Tournament. They will play in the night session, the evening session. They'll play in the night session in the SEC's, the Southeastern Conference quarterfinals. And they will win, or they will try to win against the LSU Tigers. And looks like we have number 11 seed Iowa. Looks like they're going to advance to the third round and play the number 3 seed in the Big Ten tournament. Okay. So let's go to the Big 12s. Let's go to the Big 12s. No, let's go to Texas Tech at Utah. Or Texas Tech versus Utah, not Texas Tech at Utah. But at would be for home games. Versus for neutral site games. Versus neutral site saying. You say at for home games. There's a home and away team. And let's go to the final 1.6 in this Big West contest. Can Irvine close this one out? In the Big
Joko's defended. Joko's job is just to be big on the ball, hands up, reading the pass. UC Davis has one more timeout if they need it. The pass is tipped, held on to by Hansen, and it is over.
And they do not. Davis does not foul, but even so, Davis would not hardly have any time left on the clock. He would have like half a tenth maybe left on the clock, and that's it. And Davis falls to 18, 11, 12, and 7. Well, Irvine is a game back of Hawaii. If Hawaii wins, if Hawaii loses, then they are tied and comes on the final regular season games between those two schools. It goes down to the final regular season games.
Enter annual 25, ANNUAL 25 when selecting an annual pass at checkout to take advantage of this limited time offer. Ava Hayden came to the rescue today. Hannah Stolke, 4 personal fouls early on in the second half, and she went to work.
Let's go, 5. She was on the move. She had those wheels on in transition, got some easy buckets activated, and her production came in.
And the number 6 seed, Michigan State, will fall to number 11 seed, Iowa. And you have the top seed still in the Big Tens. And that will be tomorrow. You will see the top 4 seeds in the power conferences: the ACC, SEC, Big 12, Big 10, and then you'll see some non-power conference conference rooms. You'll see like 10 quarters, which have an impact on global, because St. Joseph's is second team out of the tournament, but it all depends on but Virginia Tech lost, so we'll see how St. Joseph's does in theirs. And then it could also be where the loser of Harvard and Princeton gets bumped out, or if they play, which they could play each other in the semis. Yeah, because the top 4 make it to the tournament, semis and finals. So Ivy League, so that's gonna be tough though. And then we got Riverside and Northridge in overtime here. And then we got Pauley and Fullerton. We'll go to. Let's go to the Big 12s. Let's go to Big 12s, and then we'll go to the overtime in the Big West. Then we'll go to that. Let's go Texas Tech and Utah in the Big 12s. Only one timeout for Texas Tech left. No timeouts left for Utah here. And also tomorrow, there's 35 games tomorrow. I figured out. We have the Big 10s, the Big 12s, the ACCs, SECs, and that's 16 games, almost half from power conferences teams. Then you have the 10 quarters, and then you have that's 20, and then you have 2 games of the Summit League. Summit League does 2 women's quarterfinals and 2 men's quarterfinals. And they're going to do the second day of the quarterfinals for the women and men. 2 for the women, so that's 22. Then we have the SoCon semis. That'll be 24. And then we got the OVC semis. That makes it 26. And then there's the ASUN. That makes it 28. So there is the ASUN. And then we have the ASUN. And then we have 3 in the Big East. It's 31. Then we have 2 Sunbelt Championship fourth round games. It's 33. And then we have 2 West Coast Conference second round games. That'll make it 35. So forgot about the Sunbelt and the West Coast Conference, as well as the Big East. Big East is a power conference. The men's one must be if they're good enough for it. Or treat like one. So Well, let's go to overtime here in the Big West, where one of the bottom of the league teams, not the bottom of the league. I mean, overall record-wise, at least they're a little better than Bakersfield, but they're still one of the bottom tier teams in the conference-wise. They're like right at the bottom with Cal State Bakersfield, Cal State University at Bakersfield, Cal State University Bakersfield, the Rovers, and the CSUN Matters, California State University at Northridge Matters. So that, and then so in Riverside is up 71-67 on the Northridge, and if Northridge can win this game, that would be huge for Northridge if they can win this one. And if Utah loses this game, Utah will be stunned. It will be a stunner loss by Utah. It will be a stunning loss for Utah, because Texas Tech is fighting hard. I mean, they may not make it into the end. They obviously, unless they win their tournament. Big 12 tournament, they won't make it into the NCAA tournament. I don't see a way they will. Unless they cement themselves with some big, huge wins. Like they beat like a couple of teams. Maybe they make, somehow they get like huge upsets. Like the 3 seed upset. And they upset the top 2 of the top 3 seeds. Unless they do that somehow, I don't see them, making it to like the NCAA's even. I don't see absolutely zero way. Even then, maybe they might have a better chance then, but yeah. And yeah, Utah is on timeout, so Utah is going to have to be close.
Timeouts remaining for Utah. Vieta is fouled, and again, that's not what Texas Tech wants to be doing right now, is stopping the clock and sending Utah to the free throw line. A mistake made by Logan Johnson to commit that foul.
And when we mentioned 36 seconds is a long time, you can see how that can happen when you make mistakes like the last 2 fouls that Texas Tech has committed.
Vieta, that's her first point of the game. And then Bailey Maupin calls a timeout immediately as Shavers retrieves the rebound.
So no more timeouts for either team at this point. So the key really is, how do you keep the clock running if you're Texas Tech?
And Chris DeGurlick is having that conversation right now.
Well, first
fouling.
First she's going to talk about how to get the ball in bounds, and we've seen her run that same play over and over again, where she spreads the floor, puts Verlon down clear underneath the basket at the other end, and tries to get one of her high percentage free throw shooters the ball immediately from the out of bounds side play. After that, she just needs to emphasize with her team, don't foul, switch on everything, and certainly don't foul a three-point shooter.
So Texas Tech will inbound it as Utah, the possibility of losing this game to Texas Tech will be the first and last Big 12 tournament experience for some seniors. Inish Vieta, one of those seniors. Maye Toure, a grad student, a transfer from Rhode Island. Jenna Johnson, a senior. Kennedy McQueen in her 5th season.
we should see them again in the NCAA tournament. This will not be their last game. That is the really positive thing about this. It always hurts to lose a game like this. And Freeland gets the inbounds pass, so we'll see her at the free throw line.
So Freeland, a 67% free throw shooter. Kyla Freeland has not been to the free throw line yet today. And she continues the perfection for Texas Tech here in the fourth quarter.
All of her players giving her a little bit of love after that made free throw.
She makes both of them.
So maybe give some love here into the night. What a big win for Texas Tech if they can pull this out.
Tipped away, turnover by Utah.
And Texas Tech is going to go 17-16. And Utah is going to go 22-8.
What?
And that is a big win for Texas Tech. Keep their season alive. Utah is obviously still in the NCAA. Their season will go down. But and then we have Utah survives over Sam Houston 65-64. We have two more games here. We have Riverside and Northridge and Cal State Fullerton at home against Cal Poly. Northridge trying to get a big win and not finish bottom in the league in the Big West. I mean, for Riverside, though, it would definitely hurt their conference tournament seeding. Well, obviously it would, because Riverside wants to be this close. I mean, they're not necessarily going to be in the top, but I mean, they'll be in the top 8, but do you want to be near the bottom of the league? The bottom? Especially in a competitive, like, T conference or, like, when you have 6 teams, you have over double 6 at least 6. You have double-digit wins in the Big West. You don't want to be having to play tough opponents. I mean, you will be, but so you have to be in a 3-6 or 4-5 anyways. So you're playing like tough teams in the quarters, and but I mean, still you got, even if you're Hawaii and in like Irvine and like or Davis, so still you're still gonna have to play tough teams. It's just tough matchups. It's just a little bit easier, tad easier.
Over to Rose. Rose drives from the elbow. It's good. And UC Riverside goes up by 1. 8 seconds left. Adams finds Esparjo. Esparjo sprinting down the floor. 4 seconds left. Esparjo. Offensive foul is called by Nena Orji. Oh my goodness, with 3.5 seconds left. A charge called. We'll see if we can show you that again, but nobody can believe it on the CSUN bench. Nena Orji just walked all the way down the court. Orji, I'm sorry, what? I didn't see Nena Orji move her feet or push into. Nonetheless, is a call.
I'm gonna call that charge on. Wow. I did not see it. I mean, maybe she wasn't set a little bit set. Maybe she pivoted just a maybe the defender pivoted just a tiny little bit. I mean, maybe, but I think that what they're considering it though is like what sold it on the what sold it was the defender like tripped over or the offensive player like that didn't have the ball that was setting the screen. You know, like the defender, you know, tripped like the offensive player, wasn't moved maybe just a very slight tad. They said maybe because like the tripped over the feet because the defender for UC Riverside tripped over the offensive player's feet. So maybe that's what they call that charge, and maybe there was just a tad of a bump, like maybe when the Riverside defender fell, maybe hit the body of Northridge player. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only absolute thing I can think of. But that, I don't know, that's kind of a weak charge call. Riverside does survive, go to 15-14, 11-8 in the Big West. CSU Northridge goes to 4-24, 2-17 in Big West play.